Hey, good afternoon, everybody, from the StormTrack 5 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks. I got my good friends Teresa Carter, meteorologist Teresa Carter, and Kit Alexander. Of course, we're going to be staying on top of any severe potential that develops across our area later this afternoon, but mainly for the evening and early overnight hours. And I'm going to kind of focus in on our immediate danger of any severe weather, and then you all are going to talk a little bit about what's coming on down the road. So we'll start with what's happening right now, and that is we do have a tornado watch in effect for southeastern and eastern portions of Kentucky, right up to the southwest Virginia border until 8 p.m. This does include Leslie, Letcher, and also Harlan County. In fact, all of eastern Kentucky. It does not include any of our southwest Virginia or northeast Tennessee or western North Carolina counties. But you can see the threat does include us for later this evening, and we don't see a level 4, level of 5 risk of severe weather that often across our local region. But you can see the highest threat there is from near London, Louisville, Lexington, up towards Cincinnati. But interestingly, for our area, we also have a fairly high risk that we could see some strong to locally severe storms coming in, mainly during the evening hours. We'll look at the timing in just a bit, but I'll zoom in a little bit tighter. And I'll show you the area within our viewing area that has the level 3 of 5 risk here, and that's what we call the enhanced risk, which stretches from about Greenville toward Kingsport, Lebanon, points westward, and the level 2, which is considered kind of a slight risk, a lower risk, but certainly one that has to be watched for much of the Tri-Cities area from near Jonesboro and Johnson City, Irwin, up toward Bristol and Abingdon, Marion, points eastward. Now, as far as the local threat is concerned, overall threat for an isolated tornado is there, but we're on the lower end compared to areas west of the Tri-Cities. That's this map right here. For some reason, I keep bouncing back and forth here, but we do have the medium risk of some scattered wind damage in that area in the red, stretching in the northwestern parts of the metro toward the Kentucky-Virginia border, and we have a large hail potential. Again, quarter size or larger is considered severe hail, and the higher risk also is in the red zone area in that level 3 that I was talking about that the area is in. But again, the overall threat of an isolated tornado is less than the threat of maybe some scattered storms that could produce some some straight line wind damage or perhaps some larger hail near quarter size. Now, this is kind of our timing. Our forecast models kind of shifting a little bit on when the chance of the heavier storms is going to be. Looks like it's going to be arriving, not counting what's going through southeast Kentucky right now, but near the Kentucky-Virginia border between about 5 and 9 p.m., the larger area of rain and storms. For the Tri-Cities, the metro area, most of northeast Tennessee, probably between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. It's a large window just because there is a large window of time there, just because there's a pretty decent amount of uncertainty as to when that will move in. And then we have, as we get closer to the Tennessee, North Carolina mountains, adjacent counties of Virginia, 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. And I would say the later it moves in, the lower the threshold or the lower the chance of severe weather will be. It won't be zero, but the instability will probably be greater during the evening hours. But I do want to point out this is live right now as we kind of zoomed in here to southeast Kentucky. Just kind of blew through a pretty decent storm, came across Leslie County, now brushing the north and west parts of Letcher County between Hazard and Whitesburg. You can see that southwest Virginia and northeast Tennessee basically dry, but we are seeing some new storms flare up west of Interstate 75 in eastern Kentucky, and that does extend into middle Tennessee. So this is the activity we're going to watch closely right through this zone here down into northern parts of Alabama for severe weather development over the next couple, 3 hours. And the present time, we do not have warnings for any of these storms, but the afternoon is just, beginning to kind of turn more unstable, the atmosphere. So we'll likely see these storms continue to intensify, and something we'll have to keep an eye on. So here's a future track showing between 7 and 9, these showers and storms once again approaching the Kentucky-Virginia border down toward the Cumberland Plateau, and then up into northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia between, let's say, 10 p.m. and about midnight to 1 a.m. when maybe our heavier rain and possible storms will be coming into the Tri-Cities, and we could see some other showers kind of regroup and push through, and possible thunderstorms through the 3 to 6 a.m. time frame. And by 7 a.m., it looks like the threat of any heavy weather is going to be winding down. But the main concern, I think, for severe weather for the Tri-Cities is going to be some localized severe thunderstorm wind gusts that could cause some damage, and that would also include the high probability, at least see some downpours, a smaller probability, but still an elevated risk of some quarter-size hail or larger exposure and perhaps an isolated tornado. And it looks like the higher chance of that isolated tornado would be west of the Tri-Cities, closer to the Kentucky-Virginia border, points westward into southeastern portions of Kentucky, where that tornado watch is currently in effect. But certainly something that all of us are going to be watching as we go through the next several hours. And right now, I do want to bring in Teresa Carter. Teresa, you're keeping an eye on the heavy rain potential as these storms come through.
Yeah, we do have that heavy rain like Dave was talking about, and I'm going to show you where exactly that heaviest of rain is going to be. Most likely in still Bristol area, we are going to see a category 1 for that heavy rainfall, but the majority of it is going to be into Kingsport, Gate City, and points northwest into Clintwood, Norton area, as well as Jonesville. So again, the flood potential is the greatest, level 2, anywhere from Harlan all the way to Gate City, even into Lebanon, Grundy area, and all the way down to Rogersville and Baileyton. Now into the Tri-Cities area, Johnson City, Bristol, even into Abington is right on the borderline of low to elevated, as well as into the Roan Mountain. Now, as far as how much precipitation that we are going to be receiving, most everyone is going to be at least from Bristol all the way over to the North Carolina mountains, anywhere from about a ½ inch up to an inch, inch and a quarter. Now, some pockets, especially into Norton, Wise area, and into Gate City, I would say anywhere from about a good inch and a half, possibly even up to 2 inches. Lesser amounts, certainly into Bristol all the way down to Boone, but certainly and even into Mountain City and Elizabethton, still looking at a good inch or so. Now I'm going to hand the mic off to Kit because we're going to see literally 4 seasons all this week with some severe weather, very mild conditions, and then behind this storm system, we've got a lot of activity that's going to be moving in once again, even into Wednesday and into Thursday. So I'm going to hand this off to you, Kit, and you can talk about winter that's going to be making you return.
That's certainly true. And then not only that, I mean, that's not even an April Fool's joke, which is hard to believe now, but we're seeing temperatures, in the 70s today. We'll be talking about temperatures only in the 40s as we go later through time. So it's going to be turning windy and cooler, much cooler as we go through time. Temperatures will be falling through for your Wednesday. Looks like wind gusts possibly 25 to 30 miles per hour as we go through the next several hours. This is through Wednesday evening. Notice there are winds gusting possibly as high as 30 miles per hour. So like I mentioned, temperatures are going to be falling heading into Thursday. Thursday is actually a weather alert day because we'll be seeing the cooler conditions, the breezy conditions developing. Also a few rain showers, possibly mixing in with maybe some snow showers in the Tri-Cities at times. But definitely the colder air, and of course some of the snow showers, likely favoring the higher elevations. Could possibly be a few light accumulations. Actually, models are suggesting maybe 3, maybe 4 on some of those mountain peaks. But heading through time, of course, temperatures will only be in the 40s as we go through your Thursday. Like I mentioned, of course, we have to add the breeze to the mix. Likely going to be giving us maybe even some wind chills at times, upper 30s, maybe even lower 40s.
All right, so that's coming up. We're going to actually see, guys, that cool off starting tomorrow. As Kit mentioned, will likely be in the mid, maybe upper 50s, in the morning tomorrow, and then we'll probably hold steady or slowly fall off in the upper 40s to low 50s later in the day. And
I was going to say that we're going to see those temperatures continue to fall throughout the day tomorrow.
And then as that cold air comes in, the rain changing to snow showers for the mountains. And we could actually see a little bit of that snow shower activity, at least mixed with some rain Thursday morning in the Tri-Cities. So an interesting forecast coming our way. And we'll have the very latest. And, of course, the top concern over the next 12 hours or so, 6 hours, 12 hours, will be the potential for some strong to locally severe thunderstorms moving in. And we'll have more on the timing of that, let you know if these storms have flared up west of us and where the warnings are and where they're headed coming up starting on News 5 tonight at 5 o'clock. So we'll see you all there. Thanks, guys.